as a bit of interest, in the bottom, doesn't show anything in the parts book. In the bottom of the, I was just in fork leg, I was just wondering how the damping worked. I could see a tube, but in fact it has a very, very small screw in the bottom. You can take that out. This thing's actually bonded in. I've had to break the bond. I'll have to put it back with a bit of JB weld. But this, obviously as the fork comes down, it's got some holes in here to restrict the flow. Then as you get to bottom out, the taper then starts to close off the flow until you get to the parallel section. Then obviously you're fully damped, so it doesn't smack when you bottom the forks out, you know, on its extreme, you know, going down a pothole or whatever. So I've got to put that back with a bit of JB weld. But I also, there's a bit of video I'll add on the end. I use the endoscope to have a look down there to see what's at the bottom, how it seats. And it's actually got a tapered seat in the bottom of here that matches this taper. And that little flat has to go against where the drain hole is, so that you can drain every last little drop out. But just a bit of interest, that's all. So there you go. Okay, I did a bit of a dry build on the forks with that slightly bent fork leg. Put the wheel back in and the sliders with no springs or anything, just to see that there was no resistance, and there was a little bit of resistance in one spot. So I've got it nearly down to nothing. So this is the rig anyway. It's just this is the table I use for building the engines on. So there is a strong back underneath it, and just set it up between two V blocks. And I've got a small, this is a V in it as well, and obviously got some thick cardboard so that nothing gets marked. And it's just a case of very carefully keep squeezing it until you get to a point where you can feel where it starts to move and not come back, you know, beyond its yield point or whatever. And you can actually play around, and I've got it down to next to nothing. So I'm very happy. I mean, I was happy before, but because I've got a bit of time still waiting for parts, I just thought I'd have a go to see if we can get as close to zero as I can. So it's as close as I can get it, but this idea really works for giving or straightening any, you know, any tube or whatever. But you just have to be careful, because this is the wall thickness of this is only about 4mm. And I wouldn't normally have tried it. I would have got another fork leg, but unfortunately they are no longer available. There are some for sale on eBay, some new units, but they've got the spring on the outside. These are 31 or something diameter. The others are 27 with an external spring. These are 31, I think, with the internal. And they're the ones you just can't get. And I would like to keep it visually as, you know, as authentic as possible. So I'm happy I've got this as straight as I can. I'm going to now put the slider back in the yokes with no seals, just the bushes. And I'm going to drop the wheel in and the wheel spindle and tighten everything up square. Leave these slack. And I can just move them around to make sure there's no resistance when I take them from end to end. Whereas before I could feel a little bit right towards the top of the travel. So let's see how we go with this. I'm sure it's spot on, but I'll just drop it in and we'll have a look. So back in a sec. Okay, they're in. So clamps are tight. And the key is when you come to put the wheel spindle through, that it lines up. But now if you look, you know, there's obviously no springs or seals in here, just the bushes are in, that's all, but you know, it's just no resistance, just slides beautifully. So it was well worth the effort of just spending a little bit of time on the press. You know, they are perfect now, and the polishing's come out really well. So would have been nice originally to have a new one, but not available. But job done and nice then. And we'll catch you on the next one.